Welcome back, IP6. I hope you are doing great, you're staying safe, and you're staying home. Today, we are continuing about learning for our 3D software program. This is lesson number 4, and this is our semester 2. So, without any further ado, let's get started. So in Tinkercad, you can use the nodes to edit and resize the object or go on them to get instant measurements. Hold Shift key on your keyboard, then resize. That way it will keep the proportion of your object, the original proportion. So it means if you hold the Shift key and you use these nuts to reshape or resize your object, it will keep the same sizing, the same proportion, the same, for example, if it looks like this, it will stay like this and just double it like this. But if you don't keep the Shift key on your keyboard, it's gonna be not equal as the original size. So when I say nodes are these points, these small squares on each edge or in the middle, which are white and black, which have different purposes. This would do both sides. This would just do one side. You can use the R key to drop any ruler on the plane like this. So if you click the R key, you can have extra ruler. If you click on the work plane and select a surface of your object, that angle will be an orange work plane. So you can see if you click this work plane on the right side, and you can select, for example, this surface on the square, and it will give you another orange plane, which you can work on, which everything you change or everything you measure will be based on this orange work plane. As you might have too many objects at some point, you can use these two options to hide objects or to lock them. So maybe when you're working on your Tinkercad and you're making these objects, maybe at some point you will have so many objects, and when you want to click, you don't want to click each time everything or each time something wrong that you don't want. So to make your life easier and your work faster, you can freeze or hide some objects that you don't need to change or edit or move. So for example, if you need this square to be hidden, you just click this and it will hide. And it will hide the object. And if you click this little lock on the left of it, it will lock the object and you cannot move it or edit it until you unlock it, which can be very useful at times. Using this select tool, click and drag, and you can select the objects that you need, whatever is in the square or whatever is over the object, and do edits and move them. You can also group them. So this is how you can select multiple objects. You just click and drag, and when you go over the objects that you want to select. It will select them for you. When you select an object as a whole and group the objects together, that is overlapping, you will subtract the object that was a whole. You can use ungroup to undo this process. So when we have these three objects together and this one, you can come here to select to be a whole like this. And then when you group this three together, this will be subtracted from these two objects. All right, so when we have three objects together and one of them will change it to be whole and we group them together, this will be subtracted from the other two objects. Okay, so now let's open the program again and get to practice and see what we can do and what we have to practice today. So again, we go back to our website and we start our new lesson right here. So don't forget, I think you by now you should know, you just go to the learn button that we see. Maybe I'll show you just in case. So when you open the website, make sure you go to click on learn. And when you click learn, you see all the starters. And then we have done the top already. So now we are on hide it. So click hide it and you can practice. So hide it. When designing the work plane can become cluttered with shapes. As I told you, when it's too messy or too many stuff, instead of moving or deleting shapes that you may need, you can easily just hide the shapes from view until you need it again. Okay, so how can we do that? Let's go to the next. Click on the red rectangle on the work plane and try hiding it to reveal what's underneath. Select the red rectangle by clicking on it. Okay, so we click on it. Hide the selected shape by clicking on the hide icon, the light bulb, as we talked about it already. On the shape pop-up, which is this one, shape pop-up here, you can see the light bulb. You can also hide the selected shape using the key Control H or Command H for a Mac. So you can hide it just like that. And for unhiding it, you just click this again. And let's try with the Command H. Or Control H. And unhiding it by using the icon on the top toolbar or Control Shift H. So Control Shift H or the light bulb up here. All right. Make a selection by clicking on the screen and dragging the box around the object you want to hide. Hide the selected shapes by clicking on the hide icon. So we can move this, we can see, and you can select the objects that you want to hide. So let's say we want to hide this. As you can see, this is how you can select, and we can hide them. You can also hide the selected shape using the Control H. You see, you can click the ball or you can click Control H. And unhide the shape by using the icon toolbar. So up here. So you can hide with this and unhide with this, or you can click Control H or Control Shift H. So you can see it can hide and unhide the selected objects. Now, you can hide multiple shapes at once by dragging the selection box around the shapes that you want and hide or shift, or you can shift click on individual shapes. So you can hold shift and click on individual shapes that you might need, and then just hide those that you selected. All right, so this is for hiding and unhiding. And next we have align it. So while building, you may need to line up shapes. Let's try aligning some shapes. Continue to the next step. All right, let's go to the next step. Let's explore the different ways these boxes can be aligned. Hovering over all alignments handle will show a preview of what the alignment will look like. By clicking a handle will move the shapes into the preview position. Let's try previewing all the alignment. Okay, so we have to get something like this, and we can see. Select all the box shapes by holding Shift on the keyboard and clicking and left clicking on each box. All right, so hold Shift and click on each box. So now we have this. All right. Next, with all the shapes selected, click the alignment button on the toolbar. So now we have to click the alignment button on the toolbar. So this is the alignment button. And once we click it, we did get this. The alignment handles will appear around the shapes. Hover your mouse over each of the black alignment handles to see the preview of the alignment, all right? So this is the preview. This is the preview. This is the preview. We can see each preview how we can do it, all right? So you can do the same. Try to see what are the options that you can get, previews that you can get. Once we do that, we continue to the next step. And we need to try to align them. Let's make sure the shapes are all aligned on the work plane. Click on any of the alignment handles. Clicking on any of the alignment handles will move the shapes into the alignment position, okay? The undo button on the toolbar will let you change back to the original position. So this is the undo button. Try to align the boxes on the work plane to the front of the box. So we need it to be like this. So we need something like this. Or we can go back. And click the line. So you can play around, and so this would be something it would look like to align each box. And now we also want to align it as a line also. We can do that. So you can see here, you have the previews. When you click this, you can see the preview, how it will turn if you click the alignment each time. So we want it to be the same as this picture. So you will need to find this one that is all in front of each other. So you just click this, all right? So it's all aligned together. And you click done. And then you can go back to the project page. And if you are confused about the basics that we have done so far, you can practice by yourself and do it again, some parts. And we will continue next week. All right. So that's all for today. Thank you everyone for joining, and I hope you have a lovely weekend and you had a great week, and see you next week. Take care, stay safe. Goodbye.